Hi guys, I would like us to speak on sales and marketing for SMEs, small and medium enterprises. And let me begin by saying this. Selling is a lifeline of any business. You know, we live at a time when we have many companies with similar products. The greatest challenge of any producer, any manufacturer, whether of a good or a service, is actually pushing their product or their service in the market. Everyone is a salesman or a salesman. Everyone. Maybe you sell a good like land, house, car, detergents, electronics, or you sell a service like medicine, training, consultancy, architectural works. The issue is, whatever you do in this life, how much you succeed depends on your ability to sell. How do you push? How do you package and push your product or your service into the market? Maybe it's good I begin with a personal story, my personal testimony, my personal experience. And I'm a speaker. That's what I do for a living. That's what I sell. I introduced myself to the first school and I said I can inspire students in this high school. Then I went to the other one, door to door. I never took a no for an answer. If the principal was not in the school, I spoke to the dean of students or the dean of studies or the head of counseling or the career head. But I spoke to someone and told them I can speak. They gave me a chance. Some of those schools asked me to speak to the parents. Some of the parents who attended my forum were very excited and they invited me to speak in their companies. Some of these parents were senior guys in corporate organizations. They were heads of strategy, marketing, MDs, general managers. And then I went door to door introducing myself in companies. Since the year 2008, I've never had to knock anybody's door to introduce myself. But I brand myself aggressively in social media. So the modus operandi has changed, but the direction is the same. So today I don't go to somebody's house to house knocking doors. I take advantage of my influence on social media. But I began by introducing myself. My precious wife Mercy has a very successful business in the beauty industry, 4 executive salons, 102 employees. When she began, she did a mixed methods approach. One, she went house to house, apartment to apartment, estate by estate, speaking to the security guards. Let me give you my flyers, my brochures, share them with the guys who live in this estate. And she was actually mapping out a 7-kilometer radius around every hair salon. Then she could send texts to people and then WhatsApp images. And then strategic, huge billboards. And then we branded the shops. Wall branding. You could see the shop from a distance, the beauty shops. Today, we don't need to do that anymore. Except in social media, we don't do house-to-house marketing of those beauty shops. They were able to start on their own. Everybody has done sales and marketing. Today, I want to help SMEs, you as an SME, to be able to be established in your area. It doesn't matter what business you're doing, whether you sell perfumes or clothes or insurance or banking products, whether you're selling houses or land or cars or computers or watches, whether you sell detergents, all types of soaps or food supplements. It really doesn't matter your line of business. Or you're a consultant listening to me. You're an accountant, you're an engineer who does engineering designs, you're a project manager. It doesn't matter what you're doing. What I'm going to share with you, these thoughts are going to help you because the make or the break of your business depends on your ability to sell yourself or to sell your products in the market. The market is competitive. Now, 7 things I want to look at today. 1, the difference between sales and marketing. 2, selling mindset. 3, 4 selling questions. 4 selling nevers. 5, 4 P's of marketing. 6, sales and marketing channels. And 7, sales and marketing tools. Let's start number 1. What's the difference between sales and marketing? Too often, we use these two terms interchangeably, but they are different. Marketing generates leads. In sales, that's where the buying takes place. So during marketing, you're dealing with the prospect. Sales, you're dealing with the customer. Before someone has bought your product or your service, they are not yet your customers, they are prospects. In other words, marketing leads to sales. It drives people to your shop. I like looking at it this way. The father of sales is branding. The mother of sales is marketing. Branding and marketing are the parents of sales. Branding is how you are known. Marketing is how you tell your story. In sales, you ask customers questions to clarify exactly what they are looking for. During the selling process, this is not about you anymore. It's about the customer. So when we are selling, we actually ask them questions to zero in, to narrow down to a particular product, depending on their buying power, on the features they're looking for, the benefits they're looking for. So branding and marketing lead to sales. Now, in major corporate organizations, often than not, these are 3 departments: branding, marketing, sales. And you know, the sales guy earns the most. Unfortunately, the salesperson is the one who is easily fired, simply because at the sales point, it's much easier to quantify performance, to measure results. But the truth is, at the back end, are people working so hard to generate the sales, people in branding and marketing. But if you are sole proprietor or in a small company, you are an SME, then branding, marketing, and sales may be the same person, the entrepreneur, the business owner. So you may need to master all of them. So let me invite you in my YouTube channel, look for one of my videos on branding. Look for a video dubbed How to Build Your Business Brand. That's a whole subject altogether. It's available in my YouTube channel, Dr. K. Jacob. All you need is to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then search for How to Build Your Business Brand. You will get that video free of charge, because today I won't talk about branding. I just want to focus on sales and marketing. So in other words, for the purposes of an SME, I will combine sales and marketing. If I was making this presentation in a major corporate organization, I would separate the two. But because the intention of this video are SMEs, I will mix sales and marketing. As I said, because usually it's the same person, the business owner, doing both sales and marketing. So let's look at your selling mindset. If the mindset is wrong, you can't sell. There are many things I can say about selling mindset. I would only say 3. 1, some people believe selling is for hustlers. You are lost and wrong if you think like that. Can we be honest? Are there times you've been tempted to think selling is for frustrated people who lacked a proper job? Guys who couldn't secure a good job. They're the guys who are picked by insurance to sell on commission, picked by multi-level companies to push the products to their circle of friends. Have you been tempted to think like that? If that's you, you describe many people. You're in the company of many people, but this is wrong. Not so long ago, I was listening to a video by Elon Musk, and he was marketing literally about his vehicles. It was such an amazing experience just to hear him explain why electric cars is the way of the future. And today, some Scandinavian countries like Sweden have given their citizens a deadline. By 2025, they do not want gasoline vehicles. Because one man had a dream, but more importantly, he was able to sell his dream. This continent, the Americas, were discovered by a guy known as Columbus. But we don't call this country the United States of Columbus. We call it the United States of America because Amerigo was able to sell the Newfoundland. When he went back to Europe, he was able to convince people that he discovered a new land altogether. So we call it by the name of the man who marketed the place. This world is ruled by the people who sell, not the ones who produce. So I'm telling you this, marketing and selling is not for losers. It's not for hustlers. It is for entrepreneurs. This is the one area as an SME, as the entrepreneur, as the head of your business, you must be on the front line selling, because selling and marketing is the lifeline of any business, the bloodline. It is the front line. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the deal is cut and closed. The second mindset. Some people say money is not everything. When they are pushed to sell, they say money is not everything. In essence, what they are saying, success is not that important. We all know money is not everything. You don't need to remind us. We know money can't buy happiness. But the thing is this, if you are satisfied with what you have, you are satisfied with yesterday's sales, you are satisfied making 2 calls a day, you will remain an average person or below average. You've got to push yourself more, not just for the sake of the money. This is not about the destiny. This is about the process. It's about the journey. God is not even concerned with the so-called destiny. He's concerned with the process. Who you become is more important to God than what you get. The idea of reaching more people, you learn more. And more importantly, it changes you. The more you achieve high goals and higher goals, if you did a sales of $1,000 last year per week, you can't afford to do that this week. Growth must be a continuous desire in you. Outdo the best previous version of yourself. Outperform yourself. Learn to push yourself the extra mile. Learn to go beyond where you are. Learn to grow. Come on. And the third thought I want to share with you here, and I said in mindset, some people believe follow-up is nagging. Why follow up a client? I will look desperate and miserable. You're wrong. Most sales are made between the 5th and the 8th call. This is not nagging a customer. It's known as follow-up. People tend to warm up to an idea when they hear it over and over again. Very few people literally buy a product when they hear about it for the first time. Some of the things you've sold, someone else labored for you. You only went to make a harvest. 2, 3, 4 people sold insurance concept. This guy never bought. But you went to sell and you thought you were a gifted salesman. Maybe you are actually riding on the toils of someone else. You are harvesting where someone else sowed the seed and another one watered the seed. You actually went with your sickle to harvest the wheat. So trust me, it's not nagging to follow up. So when you talk with a client and they're not willing to buy there and then, maybe they're not in the right mood, they're not in the right emotion, maybe they're in a hurry going somewhere, maybe they're dealing with a tough situation that moment. It's okay to ask them, can I call you on Monday morning at 10 o'clock? Suggest the day and the time. That's the best way to do it. Then they may tell you, no. Try Tuesday 6 p.m. Work with very specific time and then make a call. They may not be ready that time. Follow up again, even if it's after a month, even if it's after 6 months. When I began doing my meetings, so very few people would turn up, between 30 and 35. And I was hosting them in a conference known as KICC, Kenyatta International Convention Center. 2 years down the line, thousands and thousands of people would gather there. We had the largest meetings in the country. Some people would warm up after 6 months, others 1 year later. But someone can resist you once or twice or a dozen times. But if you keep speaking and reaching out to them respectively, they will eventually warm up to you. So follow-up is not nagging. Now, there are some 4 selling questions I want you to think about. If you want to master selling and marketing, honestly, think about these 4 selling questions. Question 1, am I qualified? Now, this may surprise you, but you're not qualified to sell everything. If you have just graduated from college or high school, you may not be the best person to sell expensive houses, to sell a ranch of land. Someone may not see the correlation between the salesman and the sale you want to make. The truth of the matter is, 20 years ago, there are some corporate organizations I could not approach. I was busy speaking to schools, high schools. Today, I have had the privilege of speaking in the Fortune 500 companies, even CEOs of those companies. Why? Growth is incremental. There is just no single elevator to the top. So you got to ask yourself whether you're qualified to sell, say, an insurance policy worth millions of dollars when you are a fresh graduate. You might want to bite what you're able to chew. So there is growth. You may be able to close that sale to an individual, but you may not be able to close a group sale for a major corporate organization as a beginner. You need to master the craft, master the products, master the art. You have to always ask yourself, am I qualified to sell this product? Because there is growth. Question 2. Am I adding value to the customer? Am I adding value? True, tangible value. Am I making a difference in their lives? Would I personally buy the product that I'm trying to push down the throat of the customer? Can I use it? Can I experience it myself? Even before I sell it to the customer. If you sell something that does not add real value, you will not go far. Because the best selling technique is a satisfied customer. They become your brand ambassadors. They call their peers and their friends. And you know what? When peers are invited to buy a product, they never say no. Can I ask you a question? Is there a friend of yours who told you about a certain restaurant? They went to this restaurant and was so excited about the meals, the ambience, the waiters, the food, great food, delicious. And they told you, dude, next week Friday, we need to go to that restaurant. Tell me the truth. Have you ever fallen prey to such an invitation? Of course, yes. Why? We tend to trust our peers more than the person selling to us. So your responsibility as a customer is to always ensure you satisfy one person to the extent they sell you. They become your brand ambassadors. They invite their circle of influence to your shop. Question 3. Can I initiate dialogue? That's the most critical thing in selling. Regrettably, a lot of salespeople just talk, tap, 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 tap. They never shut up. If you find yourself speaking for 5 minutes non-stop, you've lost the sale, you've lost the customer. Ask leading questions. Even simple questions. Am I communicating? Are you interested? Before you ask, are you interested in this product? Ask them a very simple question. Have you ever thought about this product? If I'm selling tea or coffee like the one I'm taking, my first question would be, look, what coffee do you take? Do you like it? Would you want to try something new? Would you want a different experience? It is far better when you ask questions. When you ask questions, you generate a dialogue. If you find yourself in a monologue, you've lost it. And that's why, contrary to conventional belief, that outgoing people, extroverted people, are the best salesmen. Unfortunately, usually it's blue people who make the best salespeople because they understand the product in out. By the way, I have done a video on different personalities. Red people, blue people, yellow people, green people. You can access it free of charge in my YouTube channel. The thing is this, that girl, that boy who made you excited about the restaurant where you need to go on Friday night, they may not even be trained in sales and marketing. They may not even have thought they were selling to you the idea of going to that restaurant, but you believed them. Why? They were satisfied. They persuaded you. Most people sell without knowing they're selling. So the best way of dealing with the customer, ask them questions. Engage them in a dialogue. They feel involved. And that makes them present in the conversation. It makes them present in what you're saying. That's why selling is not a question of 2 minute selling trainings. It's important to train. It's important self-improvement. But the truth is, involve the customer. They are thinking human beings. The customers we are discussing are people like you. So it must be a dialogue, never a monologue. Question number 4. Can I handle no? You must be prepared to handle no. No is not synonymous to rejection. Rejecting your product is not synonymous to rejecting you. Draw a line between someone rejecting you and rejecting your product. Remember that popular Pareto principle. Out of 10 customers you approach, only 2 may be customers. 1 may buy right now, 1 may buy in 6 months. 8 may not buy. So your responsibility as a salesman, saleswoman, go to the next prospect, and the next prospect, and the next prospect. You can't afford to see one person and then frustrate yourself for not closing the sale. It doesn't work like that. You must learn to receive objections. You must be ready to hear so many no's before you hear the yes. Don't give up because somebody told you no. That may not be the right time for them, or this may never be your customer. Go to the next. Increase the odds. Hey, come on, remember the law of probability. Increase the odds of success by reaching more people and reaching more prospects. And this takes me to my selling nevers. Now, this is radical. This is the most radical thing I'm going to tell you today, because this may be contrary to every selling and marketing school you have ever attended. Don't throw any stone at me, just think through it. This is honestly, I'm telling you this. This is totally different from what they taught you in marketing school. I have some 4 serious nevers. This is a paradigm shift. Are you ready? The first never. Never show excitement. Now, I have listened to people teaching guys on sales and marketing, and they always say show enthusiasm and passion and excitement. Bring charisma in this thing. Now, I'm telling you this. If a stranger comes to you, let's say your name is Becky. Hey Becky, what's up? How you doing? Oh my God, you're looking good, sharp, smart. You might fear they are crooks or conmen. Separate the theories you learn from class and the reality on the ground. Trust me, I have tried this with different guys in sales and marketing. I have spoken to some of the largest insurance companies. When they are awarding their best salesmen and saleswomen, they have invited me as their preferred guest speaker, conference speaker, keynote speaker. And I have sat down with great salesmen and women one-on-one. And I've also sold myself places. I have traveled this world, different continents, different countries. I know what I'm telling you. If this is a stranger, introduce yourself formally. Say, I am Dr. K.N. Jacob. I'm in speaking business. I speak on personal branding, personal leadership, personal performance, strategic thinking. I speak about emotional intelligence, building strong teams. Would you want me to discuss more about what I do for your organization? Is this something your company would look for or is interested? Who is doing this for you? Would you want us to have a conversation? Is this good time to talk with you? Introduce yourself formally, officially, introduce your name, have composure. Don't go with those excitements you hear about. This is not reality show. This is not movie. This is real life. And when you create a rapport, then you may give them your name card, your business card, or a leaflet or a flyer. But don't go throwing papers to people. They just dump them. They just dump them immediately in the waste can. When you create a rapport, then I can keep your card. But it's even more importantly, if they can agree you save their number in your phone, that's the time you know you've sold yourself or your product well. The second never. Never put pressure on the customer. Now, you should be convincing, yes. But putting pressure means you must buy right now, this minute. That's okay if you're selling a product that is not very expensive, like a cup, like maybe some lotion, body lotion, or a book, or a pen. But if you're selling high-end products, like a vehicle, a brand new car, you're selling a house, you're selling land, if you're selling high-end products, or an insurance package, or an investment scheme worth millions of dollars, it's okay to give them a chance to consult with their life partner. It's okay to tell the customer, rather the prospect, do you want to sleep over it? Can I check on you tomorrow or next week? You don't have to close the sale right now. Don't put that undue pressure. Respect their space. The third never. Never attack customer choices. Never attack the choices of the customer. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you are an employee of Bank of America. You're in sales and marketing. You're out there looking for customers to join your bank. And then you realize this customer, his bank is JP Morgan. Don't speak against JP Morgan. Don't discredit, don't dishonor JP Morgan. Number one, it's a lie. JP Morgan is a great bank and Bank of America is a great bank. So don't be selfish in as much as you want to sell your bank. The moment you attack JP Morgan, you're telling the customer she has no brains. They make the wrong choices. And by attacking their choices, you are attacking the customer because they have chosen this bank. So don't attack their choices. Instead, talk about your bank. Talk about your product. Talk about your offerings. Focus on what you have, not attacking what they have, not attacking their choices. The fourth never. This is a huge one, guys. This is huge. The fourth never. It's never about you. Come on. It's never about you. Let this sink. It's about the prospect who eventually becomes your customer. I'll never forget, there is a guy who sells cars. And he was selling my car. I gave him my car to sell. He's a great salesman. And I had him tell the customer, you know this car? This is what we are eating in my house tonight. This is the dinner in my family tonight. I'm waiting for you to make the payment. Yeah, this is what we're waiting for. And I had to tell him, Fred, I don't want to interfere with how you sell cars, but let me correct you. It's not about you and your dinner tonight. It's about the customer. I'll never forget a musician who came to me, a nice lady, and she told me, Doc, please buy for me this music album. Promote me. Why should I promote you? Did I tell you to sing? Some people write a book and they tell me, Doc, please buy this book, promote me. Why on earth should I promote you? Did I tell you to write a book? I've done some books, a couple of books, many books, as a matter of fact. Every single year I release 2 new books. Never once in my lifetime have I told anyone, please promote me. Please buy this book for me. Never once. And I'm telling you, there is a time I have sold in a single day, $10,000. I have never told anyone to promote me by buying my books. Usually when I want to make a huge sale, like I'll never forget a place I was speaking about parenting. And the parents who had attended were many. It was a huge conference. And I spoke about parenting, 10 principles of parenting. And I added real value to these parents. And then I said, if you want the notes of what I have just presented for reference or to remind you what I have just spoken about in this little book called Shifting Parenting. By the time I finished, on my desk where my staff were there seated with my books, not a single book was remaining. And I've done that with many of my books. I'll never forget when I released this book, You Don't Need a Job. The same day I was launching this book, and I explained to people how I interviewed 8 guys, successful people who started from scratch, and they're running a multi-million-dollar business. And I say those stories are right here. And then I gave a speech for 30 minutes on why you don't need a job. And I explained to the audience, there's a difference between a job and work. You are designed to work, to be deployed. Even if you're employed by a large company, don't live where you are survived, where they survive you, where you are tolerated. Be somewhere you are celebrated. Go somewhere where they can't do without you. And I remember asking them, if today you tendered your resignation, can your employer call you for a renegotiation? Or will it be a phew, finally, she's gone, he's gone. Work somewhere where they cannot do away without you. By the time I finished, there was no single book remaining. In fact, this is one of my best-selling books. But guess what? I've never sat down to tell someone, please promote me. Why? It's never about me. Otherwise, I only need to write my own book of myself to myself. If this is about the customer, it must add real value to the customer. It's never about you. Don't try to sell anything to a customer so that you close a sale. You've got to sell this product to add value to your customer. In other words, I'm saying this. Don't get your customer to buy your product. Look for the product that suits your customer. Look for the product that your customer needs. Don't develop products to push them to your customer. Analyze the needs of your customer and then produce a product for their needs. That needs to be clear. The order needs to be crystal clear to you that you're producing. Like, for example, when I wrote this book, I primarily wrote it for employees who want to transit into business. This book was not even meant for entrepreneurs. I was writing to guys who are employed and they are looking for a tool to help them to transit into business. People who want to start their own business, not those who are already in business. I wanted to inspire them on how to start. Not through theories, but through practical stories on how to get started. So develop that product that your customer needs. Now, there's some 4 P's of marketing. I want to mention them in just a moment. 4 P's of marketing. The first P is the product. Get to know your product. The reason I'm saying this, I have trained people in companies. Not long ago, I was with the bank, which I was doing their strategic plan. And I was surprised. People who attended the strategy meetings, some of them did not have thorough knowledge of their products. They did not draw a line between their products and their processes. The product you're selling must be in your fingertips, especially the benefits. Most employees focus on the features of the product. The most critical thing are the benefits of that product to your customer. The second P is price. Have you priced your product rightly? What is pricing rightly? You have to understand consumer behavior. You have to understand the buying power of your customer. I don't charge my services the same way. I charge SMEs differently from multinational organizations. And that's not loss of integrity. These are different customers. My SMEs still need training. There is no way I'm going to train the large multinational companies the same way I charge SMEs. So I have a price here for large multinationals, and then down here for SMEs, and then down here for non-profit organizations and churches. So you can have the same product, but you price it differently. And then the third P is place. Where are you going to position your product? You've got to ask yourself, because there are many dynamics about your customer. Beliefs, tastes, age, demographics, even their level of education. There are products professors can buy that other people are not interested. There are products for women. There are products for teenagers. There are products for elderly people, for retirees. There are products for entrepreneurs. There are products for contractors only. The rest of us are not interested. Where are you going to place this product? The locality. Location is everything. And then the fourth P is promotion. How am I going to promote it in this place for this price, this product? How am I going to promote this product at this price in this place? Now, there are many ways of promoting your product. I call them sales and marketing channels. Let me mention 7 of them. I'm not suggesting my list is exhaustive, but think about this. Referrals, where a customer talks about your products. A satisfied customer drives others to your product or your service. Number 2, phone calls. There are people who do very well just through a phone call. They call and make the sale. Number 3, door to door. Going from store to store or positioning your products, in a supermarket and another one. Busy junctions, road junctions. Showcasing what you have. Number 4, internet. And this could imply emailing people or having a good website, interactive website. The website must be interactive. My website, Dr. K and Jacob. You can book for coaching, personalized coaching services in my website. You can buy my books. You can access my videos. You can access my online programs. I have a couple of online courses and you can get them in my YouTube channel. You can even book for a speaking engagement and invite me as a conference speaker in my website. Make sure your website is that interactive. That's where the world is. Number 5, social media. This is huge. In fact, my primary marketing tool right now, both branding and marketing, is Facebook. My number 2, YouTube. My number 3, Instagram. I'm not very strong in Twitter. I'm not very strong in TikTok. I'm not very strong in LinkedIn. And I'm not apologetic about it. You don't want to spread your energies too thin. Pick 2 or 3 social media outlets and focus there. Don't spread too thin. Focus is the name of the game. Selection is the name of the game. Look at cheaters. They zero in on one gazelle or one antelope and they have laser focus. If they focus on 2 or 3 gazelles, they have air burgers for dinner. Nothing. If you really want to close zero in, you have to focus, laser focus, where you want to put your energies, because it's expensive to spread thin as a beginner, as a startup. Number 5, trade fairs. You may want to participate in your state trade fairs or in national trade fairs or international trade fairs, depending on your level of engagement. As you grow, I have participated in the Dubai Fair 2005. I participated in another fair in Paris, major trade fair in Paris, international trade fair. So depending on your level, see where you can take your merchandise. Number 7, events and conferences. I tell you, it makes a huge difference just to have a desk with your merchandise, maybe your leaflets, your brochures, and maybe some beautiful girls or handsome men with a certain uniform talking about your products. It makes a huge difference. Now, the thing is this. Goals are set. Marketing channels are chosen. Don't make a bladder of choosing one marketing channel. Triangulate. Use a couple of them. At least 3. Try to use a mixed models design. Don't stick with one. Now, I have come across many automated sales and marketing tools that help us just track our sales. I don't want to focus on this. This is really up to you. There are so many. I have seen WordPress, Google Threads, Wistia, Charlie App, Medium, Buffer, Octopost, Crowdfire, Hotjar, Segment, Simply Measured, Open Site Explorer. Literally, now these tools basically are for helping you to track performance, to track your sales. I have one example here for you where I was trying to check my sales. What is doing well for me as an individual? Website, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, trade fair, events, others. And for me, Facebook is by far the leading. In this particular example, this is a hypothetical example, 222 from Facebook, 162 from website, number 3, others, different other platforms, combination of other platforms. And then Instagram 19, LinkedIn 14, Trade Fair 3, Events 12. So these tools help you just to track your sales. My parting shot, minimize talks and show them. Don't tell them too much, show them. Hey, if there is a magician on a busy road junction telling you, hey, I'm such a good magician, I perform very weird magic tricks. Hey guys, get in the theater and see my magic tricks. He may not get very many people. But if the magician decides to do something weird, he picks a sword and takes it down the throat. Yeah. When everyone is seen, he gives you the sword, you touch the sword, and you realize this is steel, sharp steel. He takes it down his throat and then tells you, for more, get me in the theater at 1 p.m. Everybody will go there. I'm telling you as a salesperson, minimize your talks and show them how your broom operates, how your vacuum cleaner operates. If it's a car you're selling, you have this pickup truck, and you're saying it can weather all types of roads. Do a video. Show us how majestic your car is on rocks, uphill, and then let customers see. I tell you this, we are visual human beings. We tend to believe more when we see. I have over 800 videos on my YouTube channel, free of charge. Why do I do that? Somebody goes there, they listen to a video like sales and marketing, the one you have listened right now. Then they invite me, they listen to a video of a few minutes, 40 minutes, sales and marketing. Guess what? The next thing they do, they invite me for a 3 days training on sales and marketing. I give them a glimpse, a test, a bait of what I offer. Then they invite me for a full-fledged training on sales and marketing. That's how it works. I'll never forget 2011. We were in Virginia with my beautiful Mercy. And there was a restaurant, a new restaurant. They offered free coffee for 2 good weeks. They allowed people to sample coffee. I went there, tasted their coffee. It was so good. This is the way to sell. Sooner than later, the entire neighborhood was addicted to their coffee. This is the strategy the guys who sell cannabis and marijuana use. They give young people cannabis or cocaine or crack or heroin for 2 weeks in a row. Then the dudes get addicted. They sell their mother's TV to buy the marijuana or cocaine or heroin. They can sell anything to get the product. Why? Because once you expose your body to heroin for 2 weeks in a row, guess what? Your body becomes dependent on the heroin. Minimize blah, 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 blah. Minimize talks and show your customer what you have. Demonstrate, illustrate. We are visual buyers. Now, I hope this video has helped you. Did you learn anything from this video? Did you learn anything? If you learned anything, please write for me a comment on this video. Just write for me a comment or ask me a question and I will answer you. Let me know what you learned. What was your takeaway? What will you do different as a result of this video? Thank you very much.